You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on Space Adventure Cobra. Hi, Ruronis. This is your pal, Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, we get to cover an 80s sci-fi space opera anime TV series. For today's anime review is Space Adventure Cobra. Space Adventure Cobra is actually based on the manga of the same name by Buichi Terasawa, who is known for Goku Midnight Eye. Space Adventure Cobra has been adapted into a 31 episode anime TV series, which has particularly directed by Osamu Dezaki, who is known for many of his works in anime. We'll get to that in just a moment. Space Adventure Cobra. The music in the TV series was composed by Yuji Ono, who did the music for the Lupin the Third series as well. Or is it Kentaro Haneda? I think it was. But particularly as well, come to think of it. Because, yeah, that's probably how the music he's composed as well. For if you ever see the TV series Space Adventure Cobra. Oh, and it's also Yuji Ono, who's known for the music in Lupin the Third as well. As come to think of it, this anime series was made by the company TMS Entertainment, which is known for their work on the Lupin the Third series, as well as many other anime titles in general as well. Yep. Space Adventure Cobra has been adapted into an anime series titled Space Cobra by Osamu Dezaki, who is known for Nobody's Boy Remy, Golgo 13, The Professional, and many of his works he is known for, and Yoshio Takeuchi, that aired on Fuji Television Network between October 7th, 1982 and May 19th, 1983. The scenario writers were Haruya Yamazaki, Kosuke Miki, and Kenji Terada. Terasawa himself participated in weekly meetings to discuss the screenplays, giving him his suggestions to the writers to fix what was wrong, or rewriting the screenplay of himself. Even though I have been looking back on my previous anime review on Space Adventure Cobra, the 1982 anime movie, which is months ago, particularly like 10 months ago, but I wanted to do a review, discuss particularly about the Space Adventure Cobra TV series as well, because this anime series has been encapsulated only 31 episodes from October 7th, 1982 to May 19th, 1983. And yet, so the plot for Space Adventure Cobra TV series, the plot is about Cobra is a very known space pirate, but decides to change his face and to clear all his memories. He becomes a common guy with a common job and a very boring life. But suddenly, he starts remembering his true identity and new adventures begin. This is particularly expect what it is about Space Adventure Cobra. Yep, because it's a classic adventure anime from the 80s, directed by Osamu Dezaki. Space Adventure Cobra's story takes place where else? But it's in space. It's basically just the random 80s sci-fi anime that is kind of silly in a way by today's standards. It contains wacky sci-fi concept loads of improbable physics and even some magic. What's great about it is that the sci-fi itself doesn't really matter in Space Adventure Cobra's case as well, since it's all about the action and the adventure, while the sci-fi and space setting are just the dressing to make the adventure more epic and cool. Particularly if you ever see Space Adventure Cobra as well, the TV series especially, which I was referring to, which is not what I meant as well. But that's the thing for this anime series. It's basically what you get when you cross Lupin the Third, Captain Harlock, and Heavy Metal, particularly for Space Adventure Cobra. The story itself is separated into the several arcs and a few standalone episodes, which are quite standalone. It does have the main story that's relevant in the first and final arcs as something what you see. Yep. Most of the arc's episodes consist of Cobra taking up missions, fighting space pirates and or other alien creatures. They also end up involving, in one way or the other, the women in skimpy outfits, or basically scantily clad, that Cobra ends up either having fun with or saving or fighting against, particularly. It's just particularly one way or the other. If you ever watch the anime series Space Adventure Cobra as well, it is very fast paced, it has tons of action, and it does give off a sense of adventure and discovering new and exotic locations. It's all pretty simple, but it also ends on a very good note. The characters consist of Cobra and his female android called Lady. Yep, that's her name. Cobra is supposed to be a real role model for all men out there, if you see what's going on, but he's overpowered. He doesn't take crap from anyone, and he's a womanizer though, and the through and through, almost one way or the other. And accordingly, for the anime series, if you ever see Space Adventure Cobra, despite for giving in the title, I mean, come to think of it, this is particularly how you would expect see what is going on in this anime series like Space Adventure Cobra, as particularly as you ever see the series as well. He doesn't think twice about sending his enemies to their deaths, which is nice, but the downside is that he hardly flinches with innocent people getting killed as well, particularly in Space Adventure Cobra as well. Lady is an android who's supposed to be the strong waifu character that takes care of Cobra and attempts to keep him in check. That doesn't seem to be too much opportunity for chemistry between them, since he's not around that often and they're very used to being around each other as well. Particularly, there are also characters that are basically familiar that I've known. Aside from them, the characters are either one of, or at the best, two-dimensional villains. I mean, the women with very little variety and personality, or ex-villains who usually end up dead rather quickly. I mean, there's this character that almost has a inspiration from Golden Bat anime series in Space Adventure Cobra, Crystal Bowie. Crystal Bowie is basically the basis inspiration from the Golden Bat 1967 anime, what you see in Space Adventure Cobra, because Crystal Bowie is basically has a gold skeleton body and he has a claw like Dr. Nazo, which is basically commonly was based on the anime Golden Bat, which is particularly what you see in Space Adventure Cobra TV series as well. And also the character Duck from Space Adventure Cobra, because he's basically like a robotic person with a duck build like mouth, particularly, might have the influence from Disney as well, particularly what you see in Space Adventure Cobra, if you ever see the anime series as well. And some of these episodes of Space Adventure Cobra, like particularly what you hear the mysterious, intimidating synthesizer sound parts in Space Adventure Cobra, that is basically what you hear that was used from the movie trailer for Lupin the Third, The Castle of Cagliostro, as well as several episodes from the 80s Astro Boy anime series, as well as several episodes that you hear from Lupin the Third 1977 anime series, aka Red Jacket, appeared in some of the episodes in the Space Adventure Cobra 1982-1983 anime TV series as well. If you ever watched Space Adventure Cobra TV series as well, I mean, come to think of it, came from out of the blue as well. Funny enough, I feel how daunted about how famous the TV series is as well. That's all about it for this section. I mean, it delivers on what it promises, but didn't expect too much out of it, what you expect for particularly like Space Adventure Cobra as well. Yep. The art style is very nice and surprisingly detailed, as it was very true to the original manga, but it also looks a little inspired, a little like a Western cartoon, which is almost not so much like an anime, which it means it's it is very nice and stylish, and it's actually pretty similar to the 1980s movies such as Heavy Metal. The animation is great, and there's a ton of action, most of which has a nice choreography, decent looking explosions, and brutal violence in which people getting killed at the drop of a hat. Not much blood though, because it's a comedy, space opera, a sci-fi action type anime, which Space Adventure Cobra is, because this anime particularly has to the extent to the parallels of Lupin the Third and Captain Harlock, as well as heavy metal in this particular anime, like Space Adventure Cobra, particularly. As for the character designs, the female figures here look way ahead of their time in terms of how curvy and sexy they are. There are a lot of the alien and the spaceship designs look pretty creative as well. Cobra himself is a muscular dude whose color coded red, has a goofy face, almost kind of like Lupin from Lupin the Third in a way, and a gun for an arm. And now that is an awesome design. In addition, since this is a space adventure, there's a lot of variety in terms of location, which will all look very nice. Kind of like almost like either Star Trek or Star Wars in the process as well. I mean, visually, Space Cobra has to be among the best anime TV series ever of the 80s. It holds up beautifully. And yes, this was premiered in 1982, particularly around the same time as Urusei Yatsura, The Kabocha Wine, Super Dimension Fortress Macross, and Tokimeki Tonight, particularly for when it comes to 80s anime as well. In the terms of the soundtrack, there are some memorable tunes, and the opening song specifically is very catchy. It has a cool sound effects and cheesy but solid voice acting. But I noticed there's sound effects that was including the mysterious, intimidating synthesizer part that was used in several episodes of Lupin the Third Red Jacket series that you hear in some of the episodes of Space Adventure Cobra as well. Yep. The only problem which is the problem with many 80s anime in general is that the sound quality doesn't sound very good by today's standards. Even if it was, even in the Blu-ray version, I guess if you want to get used to it after a while, but unfortunately, we're recording with toasters back then. But overall, Space Adventure Cobra is fairly creative and superb production values. Doesn't have that much substance to it, but it's pretty comfortable with that. What it is. It is also one of the most enjoyable anime TV series I've watched for a while as well. But I noticed that if you're familiar, particularly with Lupin the Third or Captain Harlock or Heavy Metal, this anime series, Space Adventure Cobra, was directed by Osamu Dezaki, who's known for Ashita no Joe, Nobody's Boy Remy, and Golgo 13 The Professional. Because this anime series has capsulated over 31 episodes that ran from October 1982 to May 1983, and it's an adaptation. It's basically an adaptation of the manga of the same name by Buichi Terasawa that was publishing from 1978 to 1984 as well. If you ever see Space Adventure Cobra, I highly recommend you to check out this anime series if you can get it on Blu-ray, because it was released on DVD by Nozomi Entertainment, but it was expired to the license until Discotek Media relicensed the series for a Blu-ray release. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Space Adventure Cobra for today's anime review. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts for this. When I first watched Space Adventure Cobra on Crunchyroll, which has been a while, I loved the series because this is particularly how it parallels to Captain Harlock or Lupin the Third with heavy metal, particularly for Space Adventure Cobra. If you haven't seen Space Adventure Cobra, I highly recommend you to pick it up on Blu-ray, but that is released by Discotek Media as well. Hope subscribe for content. My anime plan, link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook, if you have Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button. Feel free to leave in the comments in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RurouniK95. Feel free to join the channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Hit the notifications bell button. Keep it otaku for this anime review. Got another anime review next. Stay tuned for my next anime review. I got another 80s anime TV series for tomorrow's anime review on Dirty Pair. Stay tuned for my next anime review on Dirty Pair, because you won't want to miss another anime review.